evening all, welcome to, wait what, Doom? Hang on, I know you're thinking. No, let me tell you, this game is brilliant. It's Doom, so the classic wonders of Doom, with the Call of Duty modern Half-Life 2-esque style controls and all of the blood and gore of a similar game. This is probably one of the funniest mods I've ever played. It's called Brutal Doom. It's by a gentleman in the comments. You'll see he is just amazing. This is such a great mod. And look at that. It just blew him away. I mean, that is just so cool, isn't it? The way this game works is through mouse and keyboard. So now I'm effectively using a mouse. All of the guns have been changed to have a little bit more potency. The sounds have been changed. Everything just feels incredibly good, and it's really, really weird to play Doom. Yeah, stuff like that happens as well. You can actually have these mini events where you can kind of do, like, you know, brutal finish him style kills. It's really good, and you can even blow yourself up with with the cans of goo. I thought I'd bring this to you because I saw it on advertised on PC Gamer, and I thought, wow, that's a clever idea, and I thought I'd give it a go. And I think one of the things that I'm just so blown away by it, particularly, is just, I think, the way that they've taken the original game, because the original game was brilliant. I must have played Doom hundreds of times now, particularly Doom 2. I always preferred Doom 2. Doom 2 to me was just a much better game. And I think it just had that something about it which was, I guess, very good. I couldn't tell you what it was, to be honest. I think it was just a very good raw shooter. Not many shooters out there have the occult either. So obviously the whole demonhood and hell and, you know, this endless stream of enemies. I mean, it's always quite appealing. Very appealing. So I think this is really cool that they've done such a good mod of it. Now you can see, I guess the place to start is the obvious bit where, you know, the game is a lot more brutal. So firstly, it's a lot tougher. Secondly, it's also got an incredible mechanic. The feeling of the mechanics behind it now is just astonishing. So, for example, the guns really do hurt. So they are. You can also flip the bird as well. There you go. But it's just got the ability to mouse aim, the ability to have, like, you know, death moves. It's just so good. Now, you're probably wondering why on earth we would play this ancient old piece of game. Well, that's a fair comment, but what I would say is, firstly, it's free. The Doom 2 and the Doom 0 .wad files are pretty much available everywhere on shareware you can find, so you can actually play this game for free. And all you need to do is download the Brutal Doom pack. That's all it is, the .pk. And then effectively you've got this whole game, which is again just so visceral. There's so few games out there that have this level of viscera, which is just amazing. Viscera is all the little bits of entrails that pop out when you start shooting people. But look at that, it's hard as well. This is one of the things I loved about Doom, was it was an incredibly difficult game as well. And I think, look at this, it really did kind of adopt my, I keep getting killed, but it really was my kind of run and gun style of game. I did like it. It's very much, if you watch me play Dust, you'll notice this is how I play all my games. It's fast, quick, running around, very high damage, single shot weapons is my favourite. Because I'm always interested to see what you can do with them. It's always quite, oh god, I don't think we survived there. Oh, there we go. So I think, to be honest, these are kind of games that I would like to bring you from time to time. We do this channel not just to sort of do one or two games. We do it to show you the whole plethora of really good games out there. And I think this is such a great example of a free game, let's be honest. It's such a good mod as well, and they've done so much. The lighting's better. You see the lighting is proper 3D style lighting now. It looks so good, isn't it? And it's just nice to play a game which has this style of play, which is more based around your skill of evasion as well as your skill to shoot. I always did like that. There's no sights, so you notice there's no sights, but you actually can look down the sight of the gun now, so that's obviously a huge step forward as well. So it's almost as if they just said, right, we've got Call of Duty, that's a good game, isn't it? What can we do to make Doom a bit more like that? And to be honest, you know, usually I'd be like, oh my god, really? But when you see how potent the guns are, when you see how good everything is, it just works. It really does work. Now, let me tell you something else. So one of the interesting things about this game is that they've added more weapons in as well. So what you actually have now is the ability to pick up the enemy's weapons. So, you know, every so often you actually can pick up the weapons that they use. So like the imps fire fire at you, so you can pick up some of their entrails and squeeze fire out of it. I'm not making this up, honestly. You can do this. I can't remember what they're called. The great big walking bloated things with, like, I don't know, meteor firers. You can use them as well, so it's all rather nice. But it's just such a good, satisfying, visceral game. I think my favourite is the shotgun still. I played pretty much most of this Doom 2 WOD, or series of maps with the shotgun, because it's just my favourite. But I like the rocket launcher as well, and everything has this kind of feeling of like they've tried to make it real. But look at the look at the bouncing bits of body. It's funny. It just makes me smile. I think the one of the more kind of unusual, let's say, things about it, I think, is the fact that you can pretty much win the game by skill as well. It's not I think this is something I've always been quite impressed with. Is if you ever played Doom or Doom 2 originally, you probably got to a point where you would have to, I guess, rely on the fact that you'd have done well throughout. Does that make sense? And Doom 2 is, I think, one of the harder games out there, because when I first played this through, maybe it was the controls, I don't know, but now it was so satisfying. It wasn't easy in any way, but it just was so more satisfying. I think it's because the guns have been buffed a little. I think the damage output that the enemies do as well has also been damaged. It's been made, I think, a little bit more realistic. So, you have to pretty much avoid taking damage, or at least risk being killed. That's pretty quite cool. I like that. I think they really have just tried to make it a realistic mod. So I think I'm going to recommend it. I think if you're interested in a game like this, I think if you played Doom originally, then I just say come and get this, because it's so funny. When you get the kind of big guns like the BFG and the I can't remember what it's called, the number 6 one, I've forgotten, but it's like a laser kind of cannon. Once you've got these guns, you just start to rip things apart. Particularly the rockets. Once you get these big maps where you're being overwhelmed continuously, oh my god, it's funny. It is just hilarious. So I really would rate this game. I think it's so kind of rare to find games that just are so good from the get-go. It's very atmospheric, as you can see. It's still pitch black for some of these levels. I'll do another video of this just to show you a more comparison with the later levels, because the later levels have got a huge amount of well-lit areas, but also they're just so fun. I can't believe how much fun I had doing this. I probably played it through in one go, continuously. I mean, that's impressive for me to pick up a game and be that impressed with it. So play it almost through in one go. It felt good. It felt nice. It was really nice using WASD and then the mouse to aim. It was really, really cool. That ability to have more control over the gun made this game come alive. That's really the subtext of this whole video, is just that ability to control in a much better way. Oh, it's good. And I think, to be honest, the graphics aren't great, but I think after a while you don't remember that. You get so used to the very, very good shooter mechanics being demonstrated that that's actually what matters. So I highly recommend it, and I think all you need is literally, if you've got, let me just go through it. Basically, if you've got a Doom 2 game, okay, so if you've bought Doom 2 or Doom or any point, or any of the final Dooms, it doesn't matter, you need Doom. You'll go into your folder there and you'll see something called doom.wad, W-A-D. All you need to then do is go search, literally just Google Brutal Doom, download the pack. I think the latest version is 1.9, I think. Then you just extract that into the same file that your Doom is in, okay? And then all you do is you grab the Doom, the Brutal Doom .pk or PTK, I think it is. And then you just drag it over the doom.wad executable, the doom executable rather, and that's all it does. It then just loads it all in the background. Very clever, it's a real kind of easy. It's a real easy mod, isn't it? Oh, look at that! You see. Now you can shoot the legs out from them. I haven't mentioned that, but you actually, if you're selective with your shots, you can actually shoot their legs off. You can shoot their arms off. You can just shoot them to the point where they're not dead, they're just scrabbling around on the floor. We'll see, hopefully you'll see some of that in a minute, but this bit here, you're just going through and just shooting the hell out of stuff with the shotgun. It's just the best shotgun in the game, in the industry. I don't think they've ever made shotgunning this fun. It just sounds good, it's got a real meaty chunk to it. and it's just really good. So there we go. You know, I think these are games that I really do. I just have such pleasure playing, and I really just do. You know, I do want to show them and share them because I think these are the games that if I can just sort of urge you to play, you'll be so enriched by it. Because if you like shooters, and let's face it, you must do because you're watching my channel, which is mostly about shooters, to be honest. I highly recommend you come give this one a go because it is pretty much categorically free. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll do one more. We'll show you a bit more of the later levels with the weapons, etc. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.